Easy Tigers. I hope everyone's fine and dandy. Welcome back, as always. It's a pleasure to have you guys giving up your time to take 20 minutes out to watch one of my videos. It's a pleasure that you give me your time, and I appreciate you. And I want to big up the Patreons and the people that are supporting me and sticking by me. It's thanks to you guys we're out here collecting nugs. Trust me, if it weren't of us doing teamwork, I'll probably be on a building site working as a plumber. And I just want to make this crystal clear, absolutely crystal clear. This is teamwork, and this is us working together, getting to the bottom, getting to the root of the problems and working out what the heck's been going on. So where we are today is a place called CATACOMBS, and I'm just going to give you a little lowdown first before we actually get our boots on the ground, because I don't believe they're catacombs. I believe they're old world living complexes, and we're just given the crumbs. So, CATACOMBS. Let's have a little butcher's hook. Or shall we say Paul Cook? Shall we have a little Paul Cook? So, it says open by appointment, but do you know what? The first time I come here about 5 years ago, this was an abandoned catacombs apparently. So, the Catacombs are close to the Salina Bay, which gets its name from the salt pans built by the knights in the 17th century. Evidence shows that this inlet, apart from reaching further inland than today, was a port of some importance in Roman times. These catacombs have considerable archaeological significance. This group of burials is situated in an area known as Tal Latnia and is today reached through a path across the fields to the southeast of the Church of the Annunciation of the Virgin. The group consists of 15 small hypogea, mostly cut into a quarry. The size of this burial site suggests that a sizable community must have lived once in the area. Nowadays, only 3 of the 5 largest hypogea are accessible, 4 of which are dug into the squarish section of the quarry. These are considerably small hypogea, but can still provide us with an ample information on the development of such hypogea. The 5th hypogeum is dug a few metres away from the first 4. This is also the best cut, and very few local hypogea can parallel the mastery shown in it. Particularly all the tombs, even the unfinished ones, are in fact heavily decorated with elements that point to Christian origin. So we only have access to a few of these. The main one with all the carvings on the wall and all the stuff like that, you'll only actually find that in the one that's been locked up. But I bet you my bottom dollar, one day I'll turn up and it'll be unlocked. It's manifestation, you know. I've put it into the universe, so one day I'm going to turn up and the lock's not going to be there. Anyway, let's get our boots on the ground and let's have a butcher's hook or a Paul Cook, shall we? So yeah, like I was saying a minute ago, these weren't actually accessible, to the public. It says it was on private land 5 years ago, but now they're saying it's booked by an appointment and you can come and have a look at them. But in my opinion, if you look at the terrain, it's going up at like a 45-degree angle, and it's clear that stuff has been buried here. Now this is the top of some arched doors. Now they say it's done as a quarry, but I just believe it's where it's been cast in and they put the boards up. That's what I believe, to give it like square features, you know. But you'll see. It's only my opinion as well. You haven't got to run with it. You can watch the video and make your own mind up. This is just what I see when I come here. So they say it's a quarry, but I don't see much quarrying going on. It seems to me like it's just been designed like that. But you can see that it's been cast in sections, and you will see that. And again, why I say these aren't tombs is because if you look at these 3, I mean, this had a little flap over it, right? And where I've been in other ones now, I know that would have been some sort of wooden framing. And you could just access that. This here is very, very interesting. I mean, here just screams consumer unit. And it also seems like it's got 2 chase marks coming in the top left-hand corner of it as well. Like something come in and then went out of it as well. So I don't know what was going on there. But I've seen that quite a lot in these places, you know. Specific squares chased or imprinted into the wall, and it can only be for some sort of service. Now again, going back to services, I keep seeing these channel marks everywhere. Now I don't know if it's to collect the rainwater naturally or what, I'm not sure, but we'll work it out. So going back to these, I do not believe these were for tombs for little babies. No way. Look at the size of that. No way you're fitting a baby in there. Maybe some sort of lighting went in there, and maybe that was for outside storage. Again, only my opinion. Only my opinion. So let's have a look inside. Now, it's very peculiar. Very, very peculiar, because they're all the same. They all have the same sort of setup. Now, you don't have to shoot me down. I don't believe these are catacombs. I just reckon people lived like this back then. A completely different way of living. Probably weren't even humans. Could have been reptiles or something like that. I'm not sure. But well, you let me know what you think. And it is fascinating. It really is fascinating. And again, when you look at this stuff up close, it seems like it's limestone on the exterior. But when you look up close to this material, it's like it was calcified shells. Like, it just didn't seem like limestone when you was up close. It seemed like something I'd made at home when I was making the geopolymer. So before I did any stones, I just used sodium silicate and water glass. And I made the most strongest material I'd ever touched in my life. And it seems like this is the same sort of material. But what I will point out is, you can see where they've cast these sections over each other, that they, like where now the torch is at. And also there's another little hole going through the gap there, which was interesting. So that could have been maybe a cable come through there. Because I noticed this in the other catacombs, in St Paul's catacombs. There was loads of little holes in chase marks going from one room to the other room. And for me, coming from a tradesman's background, it can only be for some sort of service, like pipe or a cable. But again, you can see where they've tried to fill in the gaps, so when they render this place and decorate it. See, this is where it's been cast directly over each other. And we see this everywhere. But you can see the sectional block work. And when I mean block work, it's not squares. This is like 3D shaped blocks. Or 3D shapes. I've got to stop using the word blocks. 3D shapes. Cast in sections. Look at that. Look at that. Completely individual. Again, there's like two little holes in the wall, like there's some sort of plug socket. What's a guan there? And another thing I've noticed about these, again, because I've been going in all these places and I'm clocking stuff now, my brain is amazing where it just remembers stuff. I'm now going into these places and I'm checking every single door on the inside. And guess what? You're not going to believe it. They've all got blinking holes or cavities where the door frame would go, like for the hinges. Now that tells you, and obviously the locks from the inside as well. So this tells you that these can't be catacombs unless these people who are dead are locking themselves in there. You know, it just don't make sense. Again, chase marks. Here we go. Look, I'll show it up here. So this one was actually housed. Not that one. Sorry. You can see the marks where the locks went. Again, look at this stuff. This material. It's like shells. It's just like calcium. That's all it is. Just pure calcium. But did you take note of the door hinge? So it went from the top left to the bottom left. Okay, I know I keep saying it, but I get a real feel of like, there we go. So that's obviously for the wooden framing to go in, because there was obviously a flap there. I'll show you in another video that's going to be out tomorrow. There was one of these places that still had like all the wooden framing in it, with metal hinges and stuff. A little bit of, look, you can see the sectional 3D block work. But yeah, on the doors on the left hand side, you can see that it opened from the inside, and it didn't open out, it opened in. So if you was outside, you push the door open, and again the locks, like the latch or the lock side was on the inside. So How are they locking it? If the dead people were dead, then it can only be locked from the inside. Then that makes sense, does it? So again, this one here was quite interesting. Again, you can see the hinged at the bottom and at the top. Boom. And again, you've got the lock on the inside. So that sort of like locking mechanism is literally you just slide something over into the hole. Very basic, but extremely effective. So you've got the hole and you just slide the wood over. You're locked in. And again, I'll stress, someone who is brown bread, someone who is dead, they will not be able to do that because obviously they're not here no more. But look at the wall, look at it, it's like calcium. This is not like, trust me, it's not like limestone, it's weird. Now this part here has been left alone. This is the part that I'm manifesting is going to be unlocked one day. But check the pillars out, check the decoration on either side of the door. And when you go inside here, I haven't been in here by the way, but when you go inside, you can actually see that there's paintings on the wall, decorations on the wall, and it's in really good condition. I'm actually going to ring up and arrange to come in here so I can have a look, so I can show you guys. Let me just show you what's in there anyway, but very poor quality images, one sec. So I managed to pull a couple of pictures off of the internet just to show you before I actually book an appointment to get in there. But these swirl marks, look at this, because this was actually found in a place underground. So this was off the coast of Italy. I mean, look at this. Underground, eh? Some flooring, some tiled flooring with them shapes. Interesting stuff, huh? Very interesting stuff. It's amazing what we don't know about and what's below our feet and under the waters. But anyway, back to business. Unless this cart rut had double wheels on one side and then one wheel on the other side, it wouldn't make any sense to me. But I go around collecting nugs and I collect so much information, and I'm going to show you something now. It's going to be outstanding. It's going to knock your socks off, and this is what separates me from other people. And I'm not blowing my own trumpet. I'm just showing you what the difference is, because I go around collecting this stuff. It's my passion, it's my hobby. Now check this out. Now, a plate goes over that, just like here that I found in Valletta. Okay, so a service runs under that and then a plate goes over the top of it, just like that, because you can see the imprint where the plate would sit. Now this is in Valletta on the right hand side. We are in a place called Salini. Now this is what this looks like, and not only have I found this, by the way, not only have I found this here in Malta, I found it in multiple places all around Malta. So this is in Salini. I also found it on the outskirts of Valletta as well. And there's multiple of this all over Malta, everywhere. This is a common thing. But also when I was going around England exposing all the red geopolymer structures out in England, I found it in abundance out in England as well. This is why it's so important to build up a portfolio. So important. I believe this stuff's older than petrol. Look at it. And this is in the United Kingdom. But going back to these chase marks, that's what I'm saying. So, again, this is what I'm saying. Outside this structure was this. And this is in England. Obviously, it's heavily covered up because of the bush. Then, obviously, a plate goes there. Another place that was another macro complex buried, just like in Malta that I'm exposing now. I will show you that running around the wall, there were services. Look at this. Now, a plate goes there. A plate went there to cover up pipes or cables. Like, I don't talk pony. I'm out here doing real business, connecting real dots. So that's what's going on here. This is not a cart rut. This is some sort of service. So two services come down on the right hand side, and then I believe it must have gone back up through this one here. Look, the plate would have sat on here, covering up whatever was in there. But it seems like the other side was exposed because there's no channel marks, but there was double there, so it seems like two pipes or two cables come down here. Or maybe it was a flow and a return, and maybe some sort of valve was in here. I don't know, I'm just guessing, but I'm just showing you. You can tell me what you think, because this is crystal clear, not cart ruts. 100% this is not cart ruts. And again, I want to stress this out. This is coming into the top of the structure from above, and it's coming down at an angle, so there's a high possibility it could be water. And don't forget, it's going to the structure from above. Sorry I get so excited, but I just wanted to let you guys know that. And I don't even know what I'm going to find when I come to these sites. I really don't. But you can see the wall is there. Part of the wall is still there. And again, like, not only that, I'm noticing that these chase marks, I think these would have been like what we call in plumbing the primaries, the mains that come into the building or come into the complex and then go back to the source where they come from. But I've also noticed that, like, you've got all these little chase marks running around the complex as well. So I believe that them marks that I've just shown you, them chase marks, them channel marks, connected to this, because these actually run down the side of the structure, and it seems like they're going into the properties. But what do I know? And again, this is a very close to finished wall that would have been rendered. Look at that. Look at this. Look at, we call them scratch marks or pre-render. It's Charlie boy. But my point is this. Look, this is what I'm showing you. So these are the catacombs, or they call them the catacombs. But then you come over to the corner, and then boom, it's like the service runs down the wall to serve these properties. And again, here it's just like phenomenal. It's phenomenal. Like, I'm not making this up. I'm just going out filming this nugs, filming this stuff here. I'm not making it up. I can't rearrange this block work and say, look, these are chase marks for water or cables. You know, it's phenomenal. So I've got to take a deep breath. I get so excited, so excited. And please like or subscribe or share this stuff. Like, you're not going to get this anywhere else. And again, people think I'm being cocky, and I'm not. I'm being dead truthful. This is the truth. Like, you're not going to get this elsewhere. Now, I couldn't work out if this was paint in here, because it was over all the walls uniform as well. Look at that. But again, I just want to point out that while I'm in here, I just want to point out the door hinges for this door. It can only be opened from the inside and locked from the inside and closed. Sorry, look. Again, you can see on the right hand side the latch would have gone there, and you can see the hole up here that's occupied by snails now. I did try and dig the bottom bit out, but it was absolutely full of mud. But it's crystal clear. These, in my opinion, are not for catacombs, unless the dead people were locking themselves in. Because what I'm showing you can only be shut and locked from the inside. But what do I know, huh? What do I know? I'm so excited now. I can't wait to get to the cart ruts in Arkabir. Oh! Where we have our CCTV in the sky and our boots on the ground examining one of the most popular ancient sites on the Maltese island, and that is the cart ruts. Some people might have heard of them, some people might not have. I personally do not believe they are cart ruts, and in this video I'll be showing you why I believe this, backed with my own evidence. But it's all for you to decide for yourself. I only go around collecting the nuggets and present you all the information, so it's down to you to make up your own mind. But here we go. This is what the narrative says about the cart ruts. So, Misra El Kabir, which is the Great Cave, formerly known as Clapham Junction, is a prehistoric site in Sigewi, in the south of the island of Malta, near Dingley Cliffs. It's best known for its cart ruts, a complex network of tracks carved into the rock. The age and purpose of the tracks is uncertain, with estimates of their origins ranging from the Neolithic to the medieval times and all points in between. So I don't really know. Anyway, several researchers have suggested they may have been used for different periods, perhaps even for different activities. It appears the ruts could only have been made no later than 700 BC. With several examples pointing to the temple period dating 3800 to 2500 BC. So in the official narrative, there's no actual evidence to prove that these are cart ruts. It's just the fact that they look like tracks. So let's dive deep. So Guide Me Malta are actually an established news outlet, and they go to write that could Malta's so-called cart ruts not be cart ruts at all. And it goes to say that the cart ruts, in a term used to describe the parallel grooves cut into the rock, are found scattered all over the Maltese Islands. The original theory claims that these were made by vehicles transporting heavy cargo. However, the hypothesis is inconclusive for several reasons. It would be assumed that the so-called cart ruts, if truly made by carts passing over the same passage, should make the grooves the same depth and width all the way along the rock. However, in some places they are just a few centimetres deep, and in others they are 60 centimetres deep. So same goes for the width. In some places they are 10 centimetres wide, and in others they are 50 centimetres wide. So that's very interesting, because if these were cart ruts, they should be uniform. Now I'm going to be showing you some evidence that I've collected around Malta at various cart ruts, or what they call cart ruts, and I found similar stuff in England as well. And I'm going to be showing you that I believe these are services, probably for water, because they're always going downhill. Now I know this is going to be a touchy subject for some people, but again, please, this is only my opinion, backed by my own research and own video footage. Now, what I find extremely striking about this complex, shall we call, is that it goes from A to B, either uphill or downhill, so it's at a slant. But the most messed up thing about all this is, at the bottom of it is a bloody quarry. I can't believe it. When I say that, I can't believe it, you know? I mean, look at that. Like, all the ruts are going that way or coming from where all these piles of material are. You know? So I find that very striking on its own. Now, we've always said on this channel, we always say that quarries are a way to get building material, and it's a way to get rid of something of significance. So you're killing a few birds with one stone. Now, if this is cart ruts, explain to me, why is there smaller ones going into bigger ones, like this one here? Look at this. You know? And these are definitely not uniform. 100% these are not uniform. There's some that you can see that go into one track on their own. Now, the only way that would be possible if these were cart ruts is if the wheels could move in and out on their own. You know, they could fluctuate to fit the track. But we don't see that. And also, this place is littered with these little, they call them Punic tombs, but I'll go in and show you. This is not a Punic tomb. Because, I mean, if this is a Punic tomb, then what was the point in having catacombs everywhere? But I digress. The video is not about that. We're talking about these lines all in the ground. And you can see that it goes downhill towards the quarry, which is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And you know, another thing that I've noticed about this area is I can't believe, like, the last time I come here was 3 years ago. And I can't believe how much it's deteriorated in 3 years. Now check this out. If these are meant to be thousands of years old, how comes in the last 3 years I've seen them deteriorate remarkably? But again, what do I know? But you can see these cart ruts. Here you've got 3 going into 1. So is this going down to the source or coming from the source? Is it? I can only imagine it can be for water. And another thing about these cart ruts, and I'm going to call them cart ruts because that's how we identify them. I've gone to other ones around Malta and in Gozo, and there's a specific set that I come across in Gozo that was literally coming from a well. There was an active well about 10 metres behind the cart ruts. And I couldn't believe it. Now the farmer was using the well. And again, the cart ruts were going downhill at an angle. So my questions are, if they were cart ruts and they were going downhill, because every cart rut seems to be going downhill, how in the world did they get pushed back up? And again, another thing you'll notice that a lot of them have a lip inside of what they call the track. So there's a little lip inside. Now we've come across this feature before on many things. Now I go around Malta and I'm exposing that the macro structures, they have an abundant amount of building services incorporated into the structures. So what I mean by that is they have, in the limestone, they have channels for pipe work and cables. And how do I know that? Because I've got so much evidence of this, and I've got it. You just need to go through my videos and you can see that I have this. And one of the features that we do notice is that the pipe or cable goes in the groove or the chase mark, and then a block sits on top of it to cover it up like it's a service. And it's still a technique that we use today. But look, you can see part of the lip here. It is phenomenal, and again it's going downhill. They're not never straight. But I will be showing you some remarkable evidence. Look at that. Look at this. Like, and another thing is, they're not symmetrical. This is another thing. They're not symmetrical. Look. It's amazing how much this is deteriorated over time, over the last 3 years. I am in shock how much this has deteriorated over 3 years. Now, what are they spraying over this? What are they spraying over this for this to be like this? I'll tell you. And some of them I can stand in, and they're as deep as my knee. I'm knee deep. Now, if carts and wheels were to go through here, they'd just get stuck. And again, you have strategically placed bush. Take note of the pipe branching into the other pipes, twice the size. Now, if you look at this one, this is a pipe. This is a connection actually going in to a bigger version, a bigger pipe. But you can see the lip. So some sort of block or plate would sit on that to protect the service underneath it. And you can see that that is actually teeing in or branching into a bigger pipe. So I come from a plumbing background, and it just screams to me like services. So I believe at this point, coming to or coming from this area was a major part of some sort of system, maybe a water system or a power system using water, I'm not sure. But look at this. Look at this. There's no way a cart could ever go down here. Impossible. Impossible. Look at the size of these. These are all different sizes. All different sizes and all different heights. So this is showing me, coming from a plumbing background, that this is pipe work. And this is, look at this. This is up to my knee. Sorry about the pin, the skinny pin, the leg. But I'm just showing you. The vehicles would get stuck here. But if you made it this far, I'll take my hat off to you. I'll take my hat off to you. Because I will step it up in a minute, and I'm going to be showing you some incredible evidence that I've collected. And undeniable proof that these can't be for vehicles. No way. No way, Saint Jose. But I mean, look at Gabby. Look at this. Now the one on the left, the track on the left, is nowhere near as deep as the one on the right. And look. Look at this. And you've got ones coming in. You got smaller ones coming into bigger ones. Which is showing you that like it's like, look at this. Phenomenal. It really is phenomenal. But here you got like four or five little chase marks here. Look, all different levels. Look at this. Look how they branch into each other. Look at this one. Like, where's this one come from? The only way this is possible is if this is for pipe work. Look, and again, right next to it. Now imagine if the wheels slipped, the car would be knackered. And this one here, like, where's this one going? And where's it come from? If if you see this section here, like what's this little dead leg coming out on its own? And it isn't in parallel with any other cart rut track or chase mark. It's not. It's just coming off of a double on its own and going to another one like it's some sort of bypass. I mean, look at that. Look at that. And now this was just phenomenal. This one, look, you can see the plate mark here. And then you can see these are all on different levels and they're all going to the same area. And it's funny that you've got this strategically placed bush right on the way there. But imagine a cart on this, it would be absolutely drunk at a 45-degree angle. There's no way in this world wheels or carts or something went on here. So let me just show you the different size levels. Boom, boom. So I'm just putting the camera down so you can see how deep these go. Look at that. So that's 3 different sizes. Now this is a completely different size. And then the one on the right hand side was just a little tiny groove. But look. It's just remarkable. It's remarkable. Now let's have this right. If the people that control what we see and what we hear about this world and the information that we get about this world, if they're actually calling these cart ruts, then isn't it wise to actually realise that they're nothing to do with cart ruts? Because everything we've been taught is absolute backwards anyway. So why would they sit there and call these cart ruts if you know? Do you get what I'm saying? So anyway, let's just have a little look because I want to show you some bits that are just, it's really striking to me. You're going to see what's a guanin. What a guanin. So this bit here is no more than a lip, and the reason that is there is because some sort of plate went over it to protect the service. Let me show you. Let me show you what I mean, and you'll see. So here you go. This is in a part of the letter, and you can see that they've created a chase mark or channel mark with a lip in it. So the lip allows this slab or this block to sit in situ, look at that, and protect whatever's behind it. So this is what's going on at the cart ruts. Just on it's laying down flat instead of going up a wall. But it's not, sorry, not flat. It's at an angle because obviously it looks like to me like a 35-degree angle. So it's coming from above going to below or vice versa. But here it's just going up and down the wall. But above this is where up there is actually a pool of water. So it comes down these 2 chase marks. So that's what's going on when we go to the cart ruts. That's what you see. So when you see a little lip there like this, you know that a slab went over that. And not only that, I've found this in so many places. I've even found this feature in England. Now, another thing you can see is that coming from above to below is these 2. So this arrow, you can see that it actually goes straight into this mark here. So these 2 meet up and then continue down. Now, if you actually follow these don't actually, now follow the red dots. They're not symmetrical either. So they can't be for cart ruts. These are definitely not symmetrical. Now, another point is, look at the different heights inside of these chase marks. Completely different heights. And again, you have another lip, just like I showed you a minute ago and when I showed you on the outside of the letter. But not only that, I found this in another place that I was calling a, how can I say it? A place that are generating power. So I was in one of the 3 cities, which is opposite Valletta. And it's all in the limestone. And again, look at this. Now, some people, like this is actually coming from a power station. And you can see that this does actually look like cart ruts, no? Yes or no? Yes, it does. So here is the lip. And again, you know for a fact, because I've shown you, that slabs or blocks go over that to protect the service underneath. Now, you can see this big chase mark on the wall. So where the door is, the cable's actually come in under the door, around the floor and up on the wall and looped back round. So this is the entrance through the door that you can see. So this is showing you that there is chase marks with slabs going over them. Just like this. This is another part I'm just showing you. So services go underneath. Now I was also in this place here, which is called Selene Catacombs. Now this one's going to knock your socks off, because there's cart ruts here, but they're not actually cart ruts. These places are serving complexes. Sorry, these services are serving complexes. Now check this out. Like, I wouldn't have clocked this if I wasn't a plumber. Now this one, you've got the slab, alright? You've got the slab at the top because you've got the lip, if you can see. Now, this comes down double and then goes into a single. Now, I was sitting there thinking, why is this doing this? And then I thought, oh my God, Eureka. Eureka. So there's a loop that comes down in like so. Let me just start from scratch. This is the lip where the plate sits. So the plate sits over this to protect the service underneath. Okay, facts. Now you've got a chase mark that is twice as thick at the top than it is at the bottom. Why is that? I'm going to show you, because the flow comes in and then returns back up, but there's also a draw off point to go to the apartment. So it's the flow and return. The flow comes down and back up. So it's on a loop and then feeds the apartment. I hope this is a good enough diagram to show you what is occurring here. But this is a very, very common thing in plumbing, especially when you have a source of either heating or something that's supplying other things. So it'll always come round in a loop, so you can draw off when you need it. Continuous loop, draw off when you need it. And that's what's going on here, and I couldn't believe it. This is sitting at the top of the catacombs. Anyway, let's go to Gozo now. Good luck. I'm not even messing around no more. Let's go to Gozo, because again, when I was in Gozo, this is going to knock your socks off. So cart ruts, again, going up, or sorry, going downhill again. They're always doing the same thing. And then when I was standing here, like scratching my head, trying to work out what is going on here. And again, these ain't even symmetrical, by the way. You know, look at this. And again, they're sitting at different heights inside the grooves or inside the chase marks. But my point is, I was standing here scratching my head thinking, what is going on? I mean, look at this. If a cart wheel was to go in here, like, what would happen? It just cause problems. But anyway, check this out. Listen to this, because... And this one's all on his own. All on his own. But... I was standing there scratching my head thinking, what is going on? And all of a sudden I could hear some mad noises. Listen. So I get this. So it turned out there was an active well at the top of this cart rut. And now again, check this out. This is in England. This is in England. Again, going from above to below. Now I promise you, hand on my heart, I believe these are services, and I believe it's for water. Why else would this be like this? These are not symmetrical cart ruts. And then why would they have lips over them? Why do you have single ones going into double ones? Some of them don't even match up, and it's not even symmetrical all the way through. So I'll just point out a few anomalies, but you should check them out yourself. I mean, look how much this part of the track swells. Like I said, they have to fluctuate the wheels for that to be alright. Now you've got two bits going into one constantly. And what's going on with this bit? So again, two going into one. You need to pause this and have a look yourself, and then you'll realise that it is not for cart ruts. For this to be cart ruts, the wheels have to be able to fluctuate left and right to keep up with the tracks swelling and unswelling, you know, inflating and deflating. And also the wheels must have to change size by getting higher and lower, because some of these go like 60 centimetres deep to 5 centimetres deep. It's phenomenal. And again, when tracks pass over, like some of them are not even like, they wouldn't be able to pass. It's impossible. And again, look at the size of these tracks. It's really all uneven. And one other thing I want to point out is this here is called a raised bed. And what they do is they come along and they literally build up a wall and then fill it up with mud. And then there's a new ground level, and it's called a raised bed. You see it all over Malta. all over Malta, and that's what they've done here. For some reason, slap bang in the middle of these cart ruts, they've decided to build a raised bed, and at the bottom of the cart ruts there seems to be a humongous quarry. So some fishy stuff is going on. Some fishy stuff is going on. But you guys let me know what you think, because I think I've presented enough evidence to put forward a good argument that the cart ruts are not for wheels. Wheels didn't go in there because, like I said hundreds of times, the tracks fluctuate, the depth fluctuates, and again I'll stress, I find it very fishy, that at the end of these cart ruts there seems to be a humongous quarry. Look at the size of that, eh? What are these cats up to? What are they up to? And again, you can just see they've built the raised bed straight over it. I was in some part of old world quarry there, which was very interesting. Very interesting little spot. So in my opinion, I believe this was a central hub for maybe pumping water, or maybe it was a power station and the water was generated, the power was generated by the water, maybe, who knows. But it is incredible, it's incredible. And again, there's so many features that I've pointed out, like the lip is very important, the lip, because the plate goes over, which I've shown you in multiple sites along England. Anyway guys, I hope I've opened your mind up and showed you something that hasn't been presented before. I personally believe, in my opinion, they are for services. But one more thing before I go, check this out. Guys, thanks for your time. It's been an absolute pleasure. Please don't cost you one single thing apart from a second of your time to like, subscribe, comment and share. And if you can support the work, one love guys. Maximum respect. Ta-das. Ta-das.